and today I'm going to do a movie review on the latest movie, that is A Quiet Place Part 2. Finally, yesterday in the middle of the night, I watched A Quiet Place Part 2, written and directed by John Krasinski. And here you go. So, a few years ago, I think in the year 2018, I watched and reviewed A Quiet Place 1. And I thought it was a really good thriller. Sure, it's nothing that groundbreaking or artsy or anything, but it is a legitimately good thriller with some actually scary scares. And John Krasinski is surprisingly not bad at directing and writing horror. And there are tons of comic actors out there who try to, or comedic actors out there, not to be confused with comic books, but comedic actors out there who try to reinvent themselves by starring in or writing or directing some serious dramas, thrillers, and horrors, and John Krasinski is one of them. And now we have A Quiet Place Part 2, and I'm going to be honest here, it's pretty good. Recently, I have been dabbling into like art house films, and I have appeared to be somewhat artsy and alternative of a person when it comes to movie taste lately. But I'm gonna be honest here, when I see a good thriller, it is a good thriller. And this is exactly what A Quiet Place Part 2 is. It's actually pretty good, and I'm going to admit that I've enjoyed it quite a bit. The premise is simple. The world is invaded by aliens who cannot see but can hear, and when they hear you, they kill you. So it's this post-apocalyptic horror where aliens overrun Earth. So everybody needs to stay quiet. They cannot make a sound. They cannot wear shoes because when shoes hit the ground, they make sound. They need to be barefoot. When they eat food, they cannot use plates and eating utensils because they would make sounds. When they do anything, they have to be super duper quiet. And it's a simple premise, and it just works. It's a good premise that spawns a lot of good scene ideas. So yeah, it goes without saying that there are a lot of intense scenes in this movie. This movie is actually not slow-paced at all. A lot of horror movies in this day and age are really slow and sloppy, but A Quiet Place Part 2 is just kind of fast, to the point, straightforward, doesn't beat around the bushes, and it has a good number of scares within 1 hour and 37 minutes, which is really nice. And yeah, there are tons of highlights in this thing. Cillian Murphy is starring in this movie, and he's actually really good in this movie. I like it when he's on screen. And if there's one problem I have with this movie, it would be the ending. I mean, I like the ending, but it's almost as if the movie immediately ended when the climax of the film ended. When I feel like there should be about 10 more minutes of cool down or resolution or build up to something else. And, this is fine. This doesn't ruin my enjoyment of the movie or anything. It's just a little weird, or as the artsy folks would call, resolution. I feel like this movie lacks a resolution arc. It just ends abruptly. That is all. But still, I like this movie. I also like that the movie shows how the whole thing started, and it's just fine. It's a fine movie. What can I say? It's fine. I'm giving A Quiet Place Part 2 a decent 8 out of 10. I like this a lot. Maybe just as much as the first one. I think I like this just as much as the first one. It's just as good. So, have you watched A Quiet Place Part 2? From 1 to 10, how much did you rate it? Like it and subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching.